Hey everyone, 44 Magnum Blast here with the Magnum channel. Today we're going to talk about something very interesting. We're going to be talking about birdshot, or what kind of shot to use in your home defense shotgun. I know this is an issue that lots of people talk about, and lots of people are on the fence about, or not on the fence about, but are extreme about. So anyway, I'm going to cut open a couple of shells here and show you what we got today, and it should be pretty interesting, so stay tuned. Okay, so what I'll show you today is we got these 4 loads here, and you can see we got this federal target load. This is a number 8 shot, 1 1/8 ounce, and 12 gauge. These are all 12 gauge loads. We'll cover other gauges maybe at a separate time. But then we have I think this is a number 5, and number 5 shot, 1 1/2 ounce, 2 3/4 inch, 13-15 feet per second, 3-inch Magnum, 1 7/8 out, number 4 shot, and then the 3-inch Magnum, 1 1/4 ounce BB goose load. So let's cut one of these open, and I'll show you. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take your knife, you cut right around the ring of this shell here. You can see I've almost got this one. And when you get it all off of there, now we're going to dump this shot out on this plate. So this is number 8 shot. It's already falling out. Okay, so you can see what you got here. So when you pull the trigger, that's what's going down range. So now we're going to dump out one of these turkey loads, and this is a 2 3/4 inch shell. So this will fit in any 12 gauge shotgun. This is 5 shot, 1 1/2 ounce 5 shot. So we're going to show you what's in one of these. Okay, about got this one here. So just going to kind of pry this open a little bit here. Now these are copper plated. This is the Federal Premium lineup here. So these are copper plated, but they're still lead. So it's all lead. Okay, there's just some buffering left in the shell there. You can see that. So this is the Mag Shock turkey load. We'll just roll them over there by these 7 1/2s so you can get a good look at that. Now we're going to do one of these, okay? Okay, so now we got our goose load open here. Get that here. Alright, so this is the Federal Speed Shock, as you can see there. If I can get these pellets here. Okay, we got an empty wad in that one. Alright, so now these are what we got. We got number 5, we got number 8, and we got BB. Okay, so now I want you to get a good look at these shot sizes. These are number 8s back there in the corner, so just by comparison, that is it's very, very similar to a 7 1/2 and an 8s, which are just wildly popular for trap shooting. And if I can get the camera low enough here, hopefully you can see, there's a pretty dramatic size difference between those number 5s, which are still lead, and those number 8 pellets. So they're quite a bit bigger. And then you compare those, we compare some of these number 5 pellets to these BB loads. Again, they just don't compare. And to give you an idea of what size these BB pellets are, they're just about the same size, even a little bit bigger, near as I can tell, to like a regular 177 caliber BB. So there's a look at all that again. So you know, when you're up against another person, another human being that's invaded your home, you kind of have to decide what you really want to be shooting at. Do you want to be shooting something akin to sand at them? I don't. Okay, so here's our test target today. What we got is this. This is 3/8 inch pine plywood, and I have measured that. That is 3/8 of an inch thick, you know, for real, measured with the tape measure, not according to specs. So we've got 2 undamaged sheets of this pine plywood, and we're gonna shoot them from a distance of 7 to 10 yards. This 3/8 inch pine board is about another 1/8 of an inch thick, 4/8 or a 1/2 an inch thick, and that's the old military standard for what would seriously wound somebody. So if we have a load that'll put holes in this first board and then go into the second board a little ways, that's going to easily go through a 1/2 inch, because we're already together. These make 6/8 obviously, which is a little over 1/2 inch. So okay, so first up guys is this Federal Premium number 5. This is a 2 3/4 inch shell. This will fit in any working shotgun, any working 12 gauge that is still sound. So as long as it's a working gun, it's fine. So this is 2 3/4 inch, 8 yards. Wow, that was crazy, guys. Hey, one thing I did fail to mention about these loads here, that's what I just shot at the board, is that it does have the flight control wad. So they're gonna pattern pretty tight at 8 to 10 yards just out of a cylinder bore shotgun. So bear that in mind. Something like this, these loads here are gonna be a bit heavier, but they have a standard wad, so they're gonna spread a little bit more. I don't know that it necessarily matters though, based on this test. If we look at this, there was our first board here, and we have a nice pattern there. So as we look at this target board here, this was the one in front. That flight control wad did hold it together pretty good, but one thing I noticed is that even these flyers from the group, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but even those went through. So it wasn't just reliance on the wad that got these through, because even the pellets that hit way out here, I don't know if you can see that passed clean through. So this first board, it just totally blew the 3/8 inch. Actually broke my holder too, guys. I had 2 more chunks of wood to prop those up, and it totally broke that. Here was our second board, and you can see here some of the flyers are embedded, and then yeah, still went through the back. And then one thing to note, I don't know if you can let's see what the camera's looking at here. If I pull the camera up a little bit, look at that steel plate back there. That's a steel, the Alpha Zone plate from CMP. You can see we had a lot of pellets hit that with actually enough authority to take the paint off it, which doesn't take a lot, granted, but pretty interesting that after going through 6/8 in total, 6/8 inches of pine, that they still had enough energy to take that off. So I think it's safe to say that this load would work pretty well for home defense. There's no way your ribs are going to stop that. So based on that, we can obviously assume that the 3-inch Magnum version is going to work just fine. And but just for fun, if I can figure a way to prop these up, I want to try the goose load. Okay, what I've done here, guys, I just sort of propped up the board there so we can try the goose load just for the fun of it, just see the difference, since there was no flight control wad in the goose load. We already know it's going to go through both boards, so I'm just going to leave the second board out of it since I did break my holder for the time being. So let's back it up, try the goose load. Okay, everybody, this is the waterfowl load. This is the Federal steel. This is 1 1/4 ounce BB 3-inch Magnum. So this is it's become one of my favorite all-purpose loads for just about anything you need to do it out of a field shotgun. It'll pattern really tight if you need to, and it'll punch through just about anything. It's great all the way up to coyote-sized game. I've had to shoot some varmints with this load, and it just does great. So let's hit this plywood with it and see what happens. Well, I think that answers that question. Okay guys, we had a totally different result on this, and as you can see, this one spread out a lot more. Like I said, this one had a conventional wad. But one thing that's really interesting is I don't see there's not a single pellet from this BB load that didn't go through. As you saw, we'll replay that shot. A lot of that actually went through and hit the steel pretty hard. That plate back there weighs a lot, and that thing was swinging. So none of those BBs had any problems just getting right through that 3/8 inch thick plywood, and this was undamaged up at the top, and it's kind of feels sort of brittle now. I don't know. So that's really interesting. I think either one of these loads would be a great load for home defense if you want less penetration. And that's the nice thing about these loads, is that even though they do hit so hard, this is still going to penetrate a lot less than buckshot. So at the end of the day, where am I at with it all? Well, I can tell you this load is out. There's no way I would use that for home defense unless I absolutely had to. These loads, all three of these loads are far superior. I would probably opt for this one, guys. I'd probably go with the waterfowl load, the BB load, just because those bigger pellets are going to have a higher cross-sectional density, and they're gonna penetrate deeper just because they're bigger, heavier pellets. So, but the turkey loads are fine. If you think the turkey loads would penetrate less walls, then maybe go with the turkey load. But whatever you do, and if you can, use buckshot. I always advocate that you use buckshot if you can. Number 1 buck is one of my all-time favorites, so I highly recommend number 1 buckshot. But if you feel like you need to use birdshot because you got kids in the house or whatever, then those BBs or one of these turkey loads could be a better option for you. Thanks for watching.